committee negotiations are finished, but the work is far from over, as both houses have to separately pass the budget before sending it off to Governor Tony Evers.
So you are giving a lot of people hope by opening up this conversation. Is that your intention?
Absolutely.
A Marquette Law School poll last month showed Evers and Republican Governor Scott Walker were neck and neck in the race for governor, and Baldwin leading Republican Leah Vukmir in the race for U.S. Senate. And new poll results will be out tomorrow, so we'll have a better idea who's in the lead now. She has been projected as the winner in this U.S. Senate race over Republican Leah Vukmir. The deep red counties of Washington, Ozaukee, as well as here in Waukesha County actually outperformed the 2018 Supreme Court election. It's still pretty chilly out here, but I talked to many people who tell me they are ready to feel the burn and they're ready to listen to Bernie Sanders' message.
In the last week, a Republican group spent more than $1 million to help Judge Brian Hagedorn in this race in efforts to outspend Judge Lisa Neubauer.
Hundreds, if not thousands, of immigrant workers and their families push for proposals that will help their community.
Kevin Nicholson and Leah Vukmir have very different backgrounds, but they agree on most of the issues. And they agree they want to beat U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin in November. Do you think that the Democrats winning the House will help that, or do you think it could go the opposite direction?
Well, former Governor Scott Walker says he's hoping bringing the DNC to Wisconsin will help inspire complacent Republicans. Vice President Joe Biden is echoing President Obama's sentiments from last week that the upcoming election could be one of the most important elections of our lifetime.
I am so delighted to welcome back to this very high school President Barack Obama.
As former President Barack Obama took the stage in Milwaukee, he made it clear why he came to the Badger State today.
I am here for one simple reason. I am here to ask you to vote. To vote in what might be the most important election of our lifetimes.
Obama made the case for Democratic candidates across Wisconsin, including U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin and Tony Evers.
I've got news for you, Scott Walker. You have maybe spent the last 8 years trying to divide us, but you will never conquer us.
There are important issues, not literally on the ballot, but figuratively on the ballot. Health care is on the ballot.
In what's become one of the top issues this election season, President Obama referenced political ads being run by Republicans across the country, promising to provide coverage for pre-existing conditions.
Your governor's been running one of those ads while his administration is literally suing the government to take away pre-existing conditions protections.
The nearly 4,000 people were fired up by the nation's former leader. They got to the rally early.
When I look around and see this crowd, I see hope, I see peace.
And made it clear that they do see a blue wave coming to Wisconsin.
We're going to bring about some changes. Wisconsin going to bring it out this time.
I never seen a road like that before.
If you've ever driven down Highway 78 between Prairie du Sac and Merrimack,
We have roads up north, the gravel roads, and they're in better shape than this one.
you know what Nancy Schmidt is talking about.
I got some back problems and stuff, and you can feel all the bumps that are in the road.
The road was redone in 2009 for about $9 million, but in February, Nancy's neighbors said it was crumbling yet again and petitioned to get it fixed.
Finally, they did.
Emergency repairs have started to repave the asphalt. Nancy says she understands why roads are a bump on the campaign trail.
You got to get your cars fixed all the time. I mean, how can people afford it?
So where do the candidates for governor stand on what to do about it?
Our approach going forward is to give local governments the largest increases they've ever had, maintain our state highways, and do it by not doing massive new interchanges in Milwaukee as the state has done over the past decade.
We're not going to have a preconceived solution. I would prefer not to raise any taxes on this issue, but I'll be listening to the people that we're working with to solve this.
In the past, Evers has said everything is on the table when it comes to paying to fix the roads, even upping the gas tax. Walker has criticized this, even saying Evers would increase the tax by as much as $1. But Evers says that will never happen. But those who live near those crumbling roads,
It's not good.
just want the potholes and bumps gone for good.
We'll see what happens, but it's been a pain in the butt.
Motion passes 12-4.
With one vote, the state's budget committee wraps up many weeks of work on the state's 2-year spending plan.
And I'm here to tell you this is a good budget. It's a really good budget.
The proposal crafted by Republican leaders strips many of Democratic Governor Tony Evers' top priorities, like legalization of medical marijuana, a gas tax increase, and Medicaid expansion, a plan Democrats vow to keep fighting for.
There are a lot of problems with this, but it does start with Medicaid expansion because you take the expansion, you get the federal funding, that frees up more money to do more things.
While Governor Evers built his budget, as he said it, around Medicaid expansion, first of all, we didn't feel that that was necessary to be able to fund the true needs of the most vulnerable in our state.
On Thursday, Republican leaders added a $300 million income tax cut that will reduce the bottom two brackets, saving the average person $75. They did not include the tax increases for manufacturers and on capital gains that Evers proposed.
And we can do the tax cut without losing our priorities. I think that's really important. We're demonstrating to our Democratic fellows, especially Governor Evers, that we don't have to raise taxes in order to fund our priorities.
The governor asked for a more than $800 million reduction in income taxes, saving the average person more than $200. And Democrats say the Republican-crafted plan fails to provide the relief working people need.
It hits fewer people, provides lower income tax relief than Governor Evers.
Republican leaders are calling on Evers not to veto the entire budget. Democrats aren't saying whether they believe he should, but acknowledge the proposal could change over the next 2 weeks before going before both houses.
How they choose to deliver the document to the governor, whether it's 2 documents or 5 documents or however they deal with it in the end, that'll be up to the governor.